Napheesa Collier absolutely hooked Angel Reese's ass last night. 8 of 13, 61.5%, 26 points in 25 minutes and 53 seconds. She scored 26 in 26 minutes.
When you think of basketball stars, you immediately picture the names that define the game. Names like LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and for women's basketball, the rising superstars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But what happens when a player's on-court performance doesn't match the hype created by their social media presence? For Angel Reese, this is becoming more and more of a reality. Known for her fierce personality and social media domination, Reese has built a massive following. However, as the 2023 season heats up, questions are starting to arise about whether she can back up the social media hype with actual basketball performance. On May 10th, we got a glimpse into what happens when a player who thrives on personal stats faces a team that prioritizes winning at all costs. And the answer was nothing short of shocking.
Angel Reese, preseason, part 2, let's get it! What they say about layups, harder than nuclear physics. Bang! She's a point forward now, and nobody's more excited than opposing defenses. Time for the vintage underhand scoopity shot from 3 feet. Yep, there it is. Bang!
The matchup between Reese's Chicago Sky and Napheesa Collier's Minnesota Lynx became more than just another preseason game. It was a revealing moment for anyone paying attention to women's basketball. Collier, known for her defensive prowess, completely neutralized Reese's game, leaving fans and analysts alike questioning whether Reese's brand of basketball is really sustainable at the highest level. So, what does this game tell us about Angel Reese? Is she truly the player people watch for, or is it just her viral moments that are keeping her in the spotlight?
I think Angel Reese fans are going to be happy because she's playing away from the rim, a long way away from the rim, and those rebound numbers and those double-doubles are about to take a back seat. So guess what? Padding the stats is not going to work out.
On May 10th, a game that had been hyped up across social media, Reese entered the matchup with a lot to prove. Despite her boasting confidence leading up to the game, it became clear very quickly that Reese was outmatched. In just 25 minutes, Reese had a measly 10 points, shooting just 2 for 8 from the field. But that wasn't the most shocking stat. Reese, who prides herself on her rebounding ability, only managed to pull down 3 rebounds. That's right, 3. From a player whose reputation has been built largely on her ability to crash the boards and pad her stats. This wasn't just an off night. This was a systematic dismantling by Collier and the Lynx defense.
I don't want to give away the farm, but Angel was 2 of 8 from the field. 2 of 8 from the field. 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 points.
It wasn't just about numbers, though. This game exposed how a player who has become known for putting up impressive stats can be neutralized by solid team defense. Collier used her experience and positioning to dominate the matchup, boxing Reese out and preventing her from establishing deep post position, a tactic that Reese relied on heavily in college. Each time Reese tried to get into position, Collier was there, denying her entry passes and forcing her further away from the basket. As the game progressed, Reese struggled to get into any kind of rhythm, and when she did manage to get the ball, she was often forced into difficult, off-balance shots that clanked off the rim. There were no second-chance points, no highlight reel moments, just a frustrating evening for Reese as her team was overwhelmed by Collier's superior defensive play.
The McDonald's sponsoring the first ever fry cook in the WNBA. Bag work is off the dollar menu, man. What is this junk? Bang! Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And most importantly, Mother Teresa, Mother Nature, and Mother 2. I'm watching because of me too. Bang! Did you know a croissant's most important ingredient is butter? Yes, butter. Butter. Butter pecan!
The real issue that this game raised was the difference between filling up a stat sheet and actually contributing to your team's success. Reese has built a reputation around her ability to grab rebounds and produce double-doubles. But here's the thing. When you're padding stats without actually contributing to the team's success, it becomes clear that the numbers don't always tell the whole story. In the past, when the Sky were trailing, Reese would find ways to get easy putbacks or grab the occasional rebound that allowed her to stay in the spotlight, even if it didn't impact the outcome of the game. But when faced with a team defense that took away her bread and butter, Reese was left with little to offer.
Look at these stats. This was some first quarter action. 5 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 for 4 from the field. Missed drive layup, missed 6 foot, leading taking 2, missed drive, lead taking layup. It's going to be another one of those years, folks.
What made matters worse was that it wasn't just Collier who shut down Reese. It was the entire Lynx team defense. Every time Reese touched the ball, she was met with help defense, forcing her into contested shots or worse, turnovers. Her offense became completely one-dimensional, and her struggles were evident from the very beginning. In fact, Reese attempted only 3 shots in the first half and missed every single one of them. This wasn't just a bad game. It was a complete neutralization of her game. The question that looms large after this performance is whether Reese has the tools to evolve past stat padding and into a true impact player, one that can lead her team to victory rather than just chase personal milestones.
Collier, I mean, my God, 26-5. Absolutely crazy. Okay, the lack of practice or fatigue from her social life is showing itself with Angel Reese. She's doing a lot of watching and slow on defense. Also not communicating. She literally stood there and watched Fee backdoor to the rim for a layup from a pass.
As Angel Reese was struggling on the court, another player, Caitlin Clark, was continuing her meteoric rise, and it couldn't have been more stark in contrast. While Reese was battling her limitations on the court, Clark was on another level, with her games regularly drawing millions of viewers. In fact, when Clark played Brazil in a preseason matchup, it wasn't just the WNBA that was paying attention. 1.3 million viewers tuned in on ESPN, an astonishing figure that outperformed 55 of the 57 NBA preseason games aired since 2010. Clark's game, which involves deep three-pointers, excellent passing, and leadership, is capturing the attention of basketball fans across the globe. Her appeal isn't just on the court, but in how she brings people to the stands.
Caitlin Clark has 0 free throw attempts. Did the refs swallow the whistle? Well, Angel's got 30. Who has the special whistle again? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I remember Angel Reese talking about they must have a special whistle out there. Yeah, this person says, my brain genuinely hurts watching Angel Reese fans interact.
Contrast this with Reese's struggles to fill arenas. Even during her highly anticipated homecoming game at LSU, where she returned to the campus after winning a national championship, only 6,300 fans showed up in a 13,000-seat arena. That's less than half the capacity for a star player returning to her roots. Meanwhile, in Chicago, despite Reese being the hometown hero, her preseason game only attracted 4,600 fans, a shocking number for a major market like Chicago. This stark contrast between Reese's social media following and actual fan attendance raises serious questions about her real impact on the game. Is Reese truly the draw she claims to be, or is she more of a social media influencer than a genuine basketball star?
If I'm being honest, is Angel headed towards a 12-point, 6 rebound, 4 assist kind of season? In other words, being a character actor and not the superstar of this team?
The fan attendance numbers speak for themselves. While Angel Reese continues to generate clicks and comments online, it's clear that her presence doesn't translate into fans filling up stadiums. The numbers don't lie. While Caitlin Clark's preseason game sold out in just 27 minutes, Reese's highly anticipated homecoming at LSU couldn't even fill half the seats in the arena. Reese's struggles to pack arenas are a troubling sign for someone who claims to be the driving force behind women's basketball's popularity. In fact, the growing gap between Clark and Reese is not just about basketball, it's about marketability. Clark's appeal goes beyond social media and is rooted in her basketball IQ, leadership, and winning mentality.
And look, Angel had a real nice assist last night.
For efficiency.
I'm not going to lie.
Off
Here
the
we
miss.
go right here down the court.
Tia Nurse
Looks like maybe
pushes the
Nurse
pace
with the
up for
ball
Chicago.
down to Reese.
Top of the
Look
key,
at
it's
this
Reese. Bounce pass,
right in there for a
Banham.
layup.
Rachel Banham with the cut off the nice pass from
Rachel
Reese.
that was nice. It was nice, no doubt.
Reese, on the other hand, has millions of followers and can ignite discussions online. But when it comes to putting fans in seats, she falls short. The Chicago Sky's preseason game only attracted 4,600 fans, a number that pales in comparison to the sellout crowds that Clark regularly draws. The contrast couldn't be more apparent. 1.3 million viewers tuned in to watch Clark, while Reese's games struggle to fill even a fraction of the available seats. While social media fame can create buzz, it's the actual performance on the court and the fan engagement in real-world settings that truly define a sports star. In this sense, Reese's social media dominance might be her greatest asset, but it doesn't seem to translate to the real test of stardom, filling arenas and drawing viewers beyond the virtual world.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
When you look at the Chicago Sky's performance in recent seasons, it's hard to ignore the larger issues at play. Despite individual stats being inflated, the Sky's record in the 2023 season left much to be desired. They finished with a 13-27 record, missing the playoffs entirely. Some players, including Reese, set career highs in individual stats, but these personal milestones didn't result in wins. This was a team that looked disjointed on the court, and there were clear signs that the focus on personal accolades was coming at the cost of team success.
We're going to find out very quickly who amongst the Chicago Sky fans are really and truly basketball fans, or are they Angel Reese, the content creator fans? Because, and you got some of those folks obviously tuning in for basketball, but is it because of Angel Reese or for the best interest of the Chicago Sky team and you want to see them win ball games?
The mid-season firing of coach Teresa Weatherspoon shocked the basketball world. Weatherspoon, a WNBA legend, was brought in to build a winning culture for the Sky. However, the team's struggles continued, and it became clear that the emphasis on individual success was undermining the team's collective performance. Players seemed more interested in padding their stats than in working together to create quality shots for teammates. This disconnect between personal achievements and team success is exactly what led to Weatherspoon's firing. Despite Reese's stats, the culture of selfishness and lack of team cohesion was evident, and it ultimately cost the Sky their shot at a playoff berth. Reese's individual performance, though impressive on paper, didn't translate into victories, and that's what ultimately matters in professional sports.
Angel Reese's mom taking to X to tweet this. After all of the hullabaloo about Caitlin Clark and the high ratings, she says, that certain fan base looking in the stands celebrating attendance, while others are looking up in the rafters celebrating championship banners. We ain't the same. Different year, same haters. Have a great day. Well, all right. It is a different year, and it is the same haters, but I think you're calling yourself out, Mama Reese.
It wasn't just about individual stats or team culture. When it came to playing against a superior defensive team like the Lynx, Reese's game was exposed for what it truly was. Napheesa Collier, one of the league's top defenders, provided the perfect blueprint for shutting down Angel Reese. Collier's defense was unrelenting. She used her position, timing, and basketball IQ to neutralize Reese's physical advantages. The Lynx team defense was also suffocating, ensuring that whenever Reese did manage to get the ball, she was immediately met with help defense. Collier's presence forced Reese into uncomfortable positions, and her usual scoring opportunities vanished. This game was a clear demonstration that without her physical dominance, Reese's offensive game lacks the depth and variety needed to succeed in the professional arena.
It's Caitlin Clark mania, and here we go again. 1.3 million people tuned in on Sunday afternoon to see Caitlin Clark return to Iowa as a professional and start raining in three-pointers from ridiculous distances.
It's clear now that Reese's greatest challenge will be learning how to overcome a disciplined, smart defender like Collier. While Reese has the physical tools to dominate, her current style of play is easily neutralized by strong team defense. This game proved that in order to thrive in the WNBA, Reese must evolve beyond her current stat-padding ways. She needs to refine her game to handle more complex defenses and develop a stronger team-oriented mentality. If she doesn't, she'll find herself continually struggling against players like Collier who can shut her down without even breaking a sweat.
To put this into context, 1.3 million. You may say, well, what does that really mean? What does a game ordinarily get? Listen to this. Only 2 of ESPN's 57 NBA preseason games that they've aired since 2010 have scored a higher rating than Caitlin Clark taking Brazil to the woodshed and laying it to them out there. In both of the NBA games that rated higher involved LeBron.
As we look toward the future, Angel Reese faces a significant crossroads in her career. It's no longer just about putting up impressive stats. It's about whether she can evolve as a player, shift her mindset from individual accolades to team success, and prove that she's more than just a social media personality. Reese herself has recognized the need for change, openly admitting that she can't keep playing the same way as she did in previous seasons. In an effort to expand her game, she has been working on improving her perimeter shooting, particularly her three-point shot. During practices and pre-game warm-ups, she has been focusing on finding the right spots on the court to maximize her scoring opportunities.
So apparently Caitlin Clark playing against a bunch of people you've never heard of, and I can't imagine how bad this Brazil team is. That actually rates higher than 55 of 57 NBA preseason games that they've aired. If you want to know how popular Caitlin Clark is, if you're wondering if any of the mania has worn off, the early indications for year 2 of Caitlin Clark as a professional is that no, our public has by no means gotten enough of this young woman's talent just yet.
However, the question remains, will this evolution be enough to truly propel Reese to the next level? While adding a three-point shot to her arsenal is an important step, it's the mental shift that may prove to be the biggest challenge. Reese must move beyond her reliance on rebounding and putbacks and develop a more well-rounded game that fits within a team structure. If she can do that, there's no doubt she'll become more dangerous on the court. But the pressure is on. Will she be able to embrace the change and adjust her approach? Or will she continue to prioritize individual glory over winning games? The answer to that question will determine whether she can become a true star in the WNBA, or if she'll remain just another player chasing empty stats.
We want to make sure that there continues to be structure, discipline, accountability, just championship mindset, and we want the Sky to continue to be a place where people want to be long-term.
As the season opener approaches, with the highly anticipated matchup between Angel Reese's Chicago Sky and Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever, the stakes have never been higher. This game will serve as a direct comparison between two players with very different approaches to the game. Clark, known for her team-first mentality, plays the game with an intelligence and selflessness that makes her a leader on the court. In contrast, Reese's individual-focused style has raised questions about her ability to contribute to team success. The contrast could not be clearer. One player is putting the team above all else, while the other is focused on individual glory. This game is more than just a battle for victory. It's a test of who has the true formula for success in professional basketball.
The very definition of stat padding, you are down by 22 points, and you've got the Fever's bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, playing against bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, starter, just so that she can get her double-double.
For Angel Reese to truly succeed, she needs to focus on team basketball, refine her shooting efficiency, and embrace a role that prioritizes wins over personal stats. The path forward is clear. If Reese can evolve and become the well-rounded player her team needs, she could fulfill her immense potential. But if she remains stuck in the cycle of chasing personal glory, the gap between her and players like Caitlin Clark will continue to widen. Women's basketball is evolving, and players who can adapt to the changing game will lead the charge. Will Angel Reese be one of them, or will she be left behind as the league moves forward? The answer lies in her hands. But one thing is for certain: if she doesn't adapt, the WNBA will be unforgiving.